Part 2 of Pope Mike Love Discordia's video blog number 3.
I was doing some research on some stuff I'm writing down, and I found something very disturbing. Under the thesaurus, I think it's reference.com, I'll put the link on there. Under the thesaurus, I looked up the word ethical. And the word ethical, the very first word that comes up is Christian. Yes, Christian. The very first word under ethical. Now, let's give some examples of ethical Christians. How about the Ku Klux Klan? The KKK. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word Ku Klux Klan or KKK? Lynching, racism, bad things, perhaps? You know, the very first line, full line, on the KKK website, and I'll put it up as a link there, is, and I quote, "bringing a message of hope and deliverance to white Christian America." Not black Christians, only white Christians. The KKK are Christians, so according to the thesaurus, another word for ethical is Christian, so I guess that's ethical right there. And speaking of, Christian love, I think I know of some other ethical Christians that like to spread their Christian love all over the backs of little boys. Yep, I'm talking about the priests out there. I'm not talking about the World of Warcraft kind either. The one that give out heals. No, I'm talking about the molesting kind. You see, the thing is that this has been happening for years and years and years. And it's only just started getting reported from the 1950s. What happens is that they've been covering it up, even since then. You know, the police starts molesting the child, and they move to another place as soon as the bishop finds out. So, they can never really, that's why they have the sex offender registry, so you always know where your sex offenders are. And so they've been moving them around to different places to cover up the molestation that these priests have been doing. So now, after that, if they find them again, and they still want charges brought up, what the Pope will do is bring a wheelbarrow of cash to your door. Be like, hey, we'll settle out of court for, you don't say anything, give you $200,000, $250,000, anything up to like $1 million or $2 million. And you're good to go. You don't say anything, I know my kids, virginity wouldn't be worth, $100,000, $200,000, but, apparently some parents can put a price tag on their child's innocence. So then, they'll just scamper on off. Now, what happens if there is an actual non-greedy Christian who enjoys justice, who wants justice much more than they want money? Well, what the Pope will do is he'll take them and he'll recall them to Vatican City. Take them and bring them back to Vatican City. Now, I don't know if you know, but Vatican City is its own country. It's like a square mile. And they'll recall the priest back to Vatican City, and there's no extradition laws. So you can't go in there, another country, Italy, just can't go in there and, or we can't just go in there into Vatican City and take the priest back and put him up for trial. Because that would be invading a sovereign nation. Well, I guess if there's a Republican president, invading sovereign nations aren't that bad of a thing, because they like doing that all the time with, like, Iraq and Afghanistan and Vietnam. Well, anyways. So, there's no jurisdiction. We cannot bring them back. So, the Pope will call them back, and then what he'll do is, if they're sorry, if they say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, Mr. Pope. And I'm not talking about the good popes, the Discordian popes. I'm talking about the Pope, the Catholic Pope. The bad kind. And so he'll say, I'm sorry, Mr. Pope. And the Pope will go, okay, say Hail Mary, whatever, do a backspin, I don't know. And you're forgiven. Like,
Stay tuned and click on part number 2.
In Vatican City, give you a nice little cozy, cushy job. Hopefully away from children, but I doubt that. It's full of priests. And, they can't do anything about it. Now, see, the thing is the Christian God what it always promises is that, justice and wrath versus the people that do you wrong or whatever. So where's the justice and where's the wrath for the priest? You know what? There's not going to be any, because the priest just asks for forgiveness. And when there's forgiveness, the sin goes away. What happened to the sin? I don't know. I don't see any sin. So the Christian God's all like, what justice? He said he's sorry. So apparently sorry is going to have to be good enough for your afterlife. Ooh, go Christian God. It's apparently, the memories of the poor child being violated mentally and physically by somebody that they trust are just gone. You can't do anything about it legally. And, for the Christian belief system, they can't do anything about it spiritually, so you know what, the kid's just fucked. Literally. And metaphorically. Anyways, I'd rather go to hell. If on the very off chance that I'm wrong and Christianity is right, I'd rather go to hell than spend eternity with freaking Christians. Having to watch my ass if I ever bend over. The priest will stick something in it. Let's see, there's 11,000 reports of abuse since the 1950s. Just in America. They don't really report it anywhere else. Because a lot of the places that these priests are at, the missionaries, there's no laws against it. And even if there are laws, hand them $50, you go away. The police are corrupt. So, that's just in America. 11,000. What happened to all these kids in, Africa and such? It's just like, a kid in a candy store. It's like the priests are Augustus Gloop in Willy Wonka. He goes in, and just starts eating. So it's like the priest. He goes in and he just starts freaking all the little kids that he possibly can, I'm sure. And you know what? I'm sure they don't mind. If the priests find out, here's some money, here's some food. It's a third world country. They're not going to hand them some food. They'll probably hand you some more kids. Ask for some more food, for all I know. But anyways, I'm going to a petition, reference.com, and which is the number one reference dictionary thesaurus site on the internet. It comes up in Google as number one or number two. I haven't checked the other ones. There's really no other better search engines than Google, and a lot of people use it anyways. It's got a lot of market share, but getting off topic, I suppose. But I'm going to petition them to remove that due to Christian bias. Because ethical. I could keep on going on about the unethicalness of most Christians.
However, I won't. Thank you for listening and watching. Please visit our website at popemichael.wordpress.com or send us an email if you have any questions or comments.